You're a Man City fan, and I'd like to know, what's your first memory as being a fan for all these years?
First memory was as a child at 4 years old. My dad took me to, as it was then, Main Road, the Platt Wayne stand, and we witnessed a piece of history, and that was the reason why I kept going back. Georgie Kinkladze, who was a former centre forward for the club, scored one of the best goals that I've ever seen. He took on every player of the Southampton team and finished it off with a wonderful chip over the goalkeeper. It was, as I said, just a complete moment of history, and that is the reason why I still follow football to this day.
Who's been your favourite player over the number of years, and why is that?
Before the money came in, I'd have to say that it was a gentleman named George Weah. He joined for Manchester City at the age of 35, which for football players really is the end of your career. It really was strange watching him, because he was a player who'd won the Football Player of the Year, and back then in 2000 to see a player of that calibre playing for Manchester City was just completely out of the ordinary.
You seem to have been a fan for a number of years. Surely you must have a favourite match?
My most memorable match would have to be the 1999 playoff final against Gillingham at Wembley, and the reasons for that was we were in the second tier of English football. We were on the brink of bankruptcy, and we were 2-0 down with only stoppage time to play. The board came up, it was 5 minutes. Everyone had left the ground. I wanted to leave, but my dad persisted that we stayed and watched the end of the game, and it was a lost cause for me. And then completely out of nowhere, we scored 2 goals in 5 minutes, which is something I've never seen before. And we went on to win the match and get promoted, and look at us now with all the money in the world.
That's a good point you made there about all the money, because my next question is, if you could sign one player for the club, who would it be?
I'd say the one player that I would sign for the club, purely based on the fact that I see him as being the best player in the world right now, is Cristiano Ronaldo. Most people would have thought that I'd have said Lionel Messi there, but I just think some of his touches, and he scored something like 50 goals last season, which is unheard of. So the things that he could bring to the club, just the stuff of dreams for any football fan.
You've experienced the highs and you've experienced the lows, and where do you see the club going in the future?
In the next 5 years, 5 Champions Leagues, 5 Premier League trophies, 5 FA Cups, maybe a couple of Carling Cups.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time, Johnny.